In a nutshell, Call of Duty and Activision is everything that's wrong with the gaming industry. And to really understand what I mean by that, we have to go back to 2017 and Fortnite Battle Royale. Because Fortnite Battle Royale gave such a monumental shift to the gaming industry in terms of how people started to change and how they are reacting and engaging with games like Fortnite. And slowly but surely, a lot of AAA game studios, especially Activision, mostly just Activision, and now EA with Battlefield 6, started incorporating microtransactions such as battle passes and skin packs and camo packs and loot boxes. And I know that Call of Duty had loot boxes since Advanced Warfare. I know they've had microtransactions pretty much since Modern Warfare, COD 4. Now, actually, even before that, I'm pretty sure Call of Duty 2 and Call of Duty 3 had microtransactions, like different map packs you could buy and stuff like that. And yes, I consider those microtransactions because they're not a full game. They're just microtransactions that you make when you already have the game to give you more things inside of the game. But it used to be, for most games, like just map packs, or maybe you get some gamer pictures, or, you know, like a trailer, or like, when I say trailer, I don't mean like a truck. I mean, you know, like a trailer for the video game, like a gameplay trailer. And when Fortnite really became like the game that everybody was playing, you could clearly see just how quickly Activision changed their like game design, and basically just now they cater everything to microtransactions. And I know this isn't new news whatsoever, but I want to kind of dive deep here into the rabbit hole of Activision, because they really could have gone a very different direction. And I think if they had steered away from the battle passes and the Warzone and the Fortnite-esque, maybe they wouldn't have been as popular as they were in terms of the money they made over the last 7 years, because Activision always makes a fuck ton of money. I said this in one of my other videos, but they have around $700 million every year when it comes to making new Call of Duty games. So they're fully capable of making a good product. They just don't want to, and that's exactly why I'm making this video, because Activision is everything that's wrong with the gaming industry. At some point during these last 15 or so years, investors and CEOs realized that they can take advantage of their customers by using these microtransactions and by using these false advertisement tactics, like releasing a trailer that has really nothing to do with the game itself. Not because of how it looks and the gameplay that's shown in the trailer. It's just the way that the game flows in the trailer and the way that the trailer makes you feel is exactly the opposite of the feeling that you get when you're actually playing the game. And they do that on purpose. They do a lot of these things on purpose because they know they can get away with it. Especially with this digital age we're living in, companies like Activision can genuinely just make the price of their games whatever the fuck they want, such as Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1 being $40. At least that's what we thought the price was going to be, but we haven't heard anything from Activision in I think since they released the post on Twitter that that Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 were coming to PS4 and PS5. We haven't heard anything about Modern Warfare 4, haven't heard shit about Black Ops 1 and 2, haven't heard shit about Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 ports, and it's just like, I mean, I say this all the time, like, when are we going to, like, draw the line in the sand? When are we going to say enough is enough and take back what's ours, which is the freedom to just play whatever the fuck we want. Like, you guys don't have to play COD. And this is a serious, like, thing that I'm saying here, because there was a period during Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 where I kind of, like, had this weird obligated feeling to hop on Call of Duty just because I hadn't played in so long, and there were so many people online and during Black Ops 6 that mostly for that game, I just felt like obligated to get on, because I was like, you know, well, the game might not be how I want it to be, but maybe I'm just trash. And that was literally the skill-based matchmaking getting in my head. And honestly, I didn't even know about the skill-based matchmaking until I started, you know, watching YouTubers do commentaries on Black Ops 6 after like a couple of months of me playing it, because I slowly but surely realized that most of the maps felt AI generated. Just gave me this uncanny valley feeling where like I was running around the map, and the way that items would be placed, the way that streets were like just the way that everything was laid out on the map just didn't feel like I would actually see something like that in real life. For example, I really don't remember these maps that well. There's this one map where there's like it's in the middle of the desert, and there's this like one broken down building in the middle that has 4 arches that you can go in through on either like any 4 side of the map. On and any like there's it's the map was pretty much a square. Well, that's another thing. Is like most of the maps in Black Ops 6 were just a fucking square, but this map, like I said, they had like steps on 4 different sides of this building, and pretty much the entire purpose of the map was that you run into the middle and you either get a crazy kill combo or you just get fucked in the ass. And it didn't feel like a real actual generated map by humans. It felt like somebody had put a prompt into like an AI software and a map came out. And once I realized that most of the maps gave me that feeling, I started watching a lot of YouTube videos. It's when I actually found out about Blame Truth, who is probably my favorite COD YouTuber right now. My least favorite COD YouTuber is definitely T-Dog, just because he dick rides the fuck out of Activision, even though there is really no respect left. And he does it, in my opinion, mostly to get more views. I don't think, like, for example, he just constantly makes the same video every video that comes out that T-Dog posts. It's just the same thing. It's like, COD, here's what you have to do. Is COD really back? You know, COD this, COD that. And it's like, no matter what he says, he does have great points in his videos, but it's like, no matter what he says, he's always, like, standing with Call of Duty. And, you know, he was hyping up Black Ops Classic so much. And it's like, I get it. You know, he appreciates when they do something right. But it's like, at a certain point, you just got to let the fuck go. Because when you let go, nothing else has a hold on you anymore. When you finally let go of all the things that you try to hold on to so dearly, only then can you truly be free. Mentally free of all the fucking trauma and bullshit. And this doesn't have to do with just Call of Duty. It has to do with anything in life that holds you back. I mean, fuck these billionaires, dude. Straight up. Like, going back to what I was saying, this obligation that I felt, it wasn't a real obligation. I just, like, missed the good old days. And I hadn't played COD in, like, almost a decade. And they take advantage of that feeling. They take advantage of people like me who, you know, want a nostalgic experience, but also genuinely want a good experience on top of that. They know that people like me will fall for the nostalgia trip. They'll see, you know, that people like me go to the store and see Black Ops on a game case, and instantly I'm going to think, you know, this is how it used to be. This is what it's going to feel like. It's going to feel like the good old days. And then, you know, all of the lies and deceitful activities that are going on, the skill-based matchmaking, the engagement-optimized matchmaking, all of it just like in the shadows. They don't talk about it. They pretty much just like dodge bullets every time somebody brings it up. You know, you bring up the issues with the game, they go radio silent, but then you bring up something that, I guess, anything positive, and it's all of a sudden like they have tweets after tweets after tweets about, oh, we've heard positive feedback on this or positive feedback on that. It's like they never talk about the negative feedback because they know they'll never change. And it kind of reminds me of my ex-girlfriend from high school. Like, I would constantly believe her when she would tell me, I'll be more communicative, you know, I'll be more supportive, I won't be so negative and judgmental towards you all the time. And no matter what, about 3 weeks later, she would just go back to her old ways and be that same judgmental, just me, you know, fuck your needs, Miles, which is my name. My name's Miles, for those of you who don't know. Welcome to the channel, and it's nice to meet you. You know, Call of Duty's like that one toxic ex that just, like, never lets go of you. You open your phone after, like, 30 days of freedom and not having to listen about any bullshit because you're just out of the loop, because that's just me these days. And then I get a fucking trailer for Modern Warfare 4 and I'm like, not this shit all over again, bro. Not this bullshit all over again. And then a little bit goes by, I'm like, yeah, I'll let it pass. Modern Warfare 4 is going to flop. Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 are coming to PS4 and PS5. Oh my god, like, enough is a fucking enough. Enough is enough. Enough is a fucking enough. I wish that more people felt this way. I wish that more people looked at Activision as the scummy cowards they are. But I just don't think that enough people really, first of all, want to dive that deep into it, because a lot of people just think it's just a video game. And at the end of the day, you're right, it is just a video game, but there's more to it than just making a game. You know what I mean? Especially in this era where games are so advanced now, and it's not just like a game of Brick Breaker anymore. You know, you can make Brick Breaker in 5 seconds using AI, but that game when it originally came out was an actual like progress towards like humanity. Brick Breaker was a game that came out on the BlackBerry. I don't know if it was out on other things, but my dad used to have a BlackBerry, and it's a game where you like shoot these balls onto bricks and you try to break the bricks type thing. Some stupid Tetris type game, right? But you know, going back to what I was saying in the beginning of the video, that like Activision is pretty much everything wrong with the gaming industry. They're greedy. They can never seem to just listen to feedback from the people that made their company popular in the first place. And they go against everything they say every year. They're hypocrites, they're scammers, and they're evil. I mean, these types of behaviors aren't, like, they're not okay. And just because these people have a lot of money, just because these people have the ability to do these things, doesn't mean they should. With great power comes great responsibility. Thank you, Aunt May. But seriously, like, I know that the gaming industry will probably never change. I know that inevitably, once, you know, money is involved, like enough money to the point where you could just retire and not have to do anything for the rest of your life, a lot of people will go, like, swoop very, very, very low on the morality scale if it means that they can make more money. And it's just sad to see that, you know, money fucking talks, man. Money fucking talks. And when it comes to money, Activision's got too much of it to the point where they just don't know how to make a good product anymore. And it doesn't even make sense that coming out of my mouth, because you would think with $700 million every year that you could make something at least playable. But I mean, Black Ops 7 was like the biggest letdown for me, especially because of all the nostalgia bait that they put into this game. I really did think I was going to get a modern experience of the Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 days, obviously because of the wall bouncing. It gives you a little Black Ops 3 aesthetic, but it just didn't happen. Skill-based matchmaking fucked me in the ass. At first, when the game first came out, I would say the first 2 months, I was playing the open matchmaking pretty much every day. And I gotta say, skill-based matchmaking still felt like it was involved in the open matchmaking. And I know that the open matchmaking said it would have a less heavy skill-based matchmaking, no zero skill-based matchmaking, but still, like, it made me so sad because, you know, the camos were identical to the ones that I played with when I was little. A lot of the maps were similar, and throughout the lifespan of Black Ops 7, they've pretty much brought back every map from Black Ops and Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. But the core gameplay in and of itself is just fucking terrible. I'm grateful that Tac Sprint wasn't default in Black Ops 7. I really did enjoy the movement speed of Black Ops 7. I didn't enjoy Omni Movement, and I never will. I don't understand what the fuck that is. Like, this game isn't some sort of James Bond simulator. I don't know why, like, in a realistic FPS action arcade shooter, that we would have the ability to move like fucking Turbo the Snail from that one DreamWorks movie, I want to say. 'Cause I don't think Turbo is Disney, but I don't give a fuck, whatever. It was just such a fucking sad case, because the Black Ops name holds so many dear memories, and it's just very important to me, because, you know, like, Black Ops and Black Ops 2 are household titles, bro. Like, those games will never be remade. Like, meaning, not only will they probably never have a remaster, given the fact that they could have just remastered the game, but they're not doing that, which is pretty much why I say they're not ever going to remaster it, because it's 2026. So at this point, if you're not going to remaster it now, when are you going to do it? And you're putting out ports for the game. So it's like, just tell us you don't care about Call of Duty without telling us you don't care about Call of Duty, Activision. How the fuck do you not care about the one product that keeps your company afloat? If it wasn't for Call of Duty, Activision would not be here in this conversation. Like, a lot of YouTubers wouldn't have careers, bro. You know what I mean? FaZe would have never existed. Optic never existed. I just wish that the way it worked in the world is the more money you make, the more helpful you are to the world and the people in it. But people are just greedy. Activision is just greedy, and like I can feel the greed when I boot up the game, and that's just another big reason why I'm just like so avoidant, and I don't even have Call of Duty installed anymore. Simply just because when I boot up the game, they're trying to sell me shit I don't need. And I literally just want to hop into a game of multiplayer and like play some 6v6. I'm tired of like being advertised millions of things. Like I'm on TikTok Shop for a fucking AAA multi-billion-dollar studio video game. It's like, am I playing a game or am I shopping for my online character that I don't actually want to shop for because I just want to fucking play 6v6 multiplayer? I really just, like, I don't even know anymore. I don't even know why I make Call of Duty videos anymore, because watching the gameplay as I'm trying to do commentary over it just makes me sick to the fucking stomach. Because, like, dude, skill-based matchmaking genuinely is the gayest, most retarded thing that's ever existed in the history of first-person shooters. I understand skill gaps, but what happened to just, you know, if you have good Wi-Fi, you're chilling. If you don't, you're kind of fucked. What happened to ping is king? What happened to actually timing your jumps and timing your movement and timing your dolphin dives and your slides and your crouching? Like, what happened to actual skill? You know, now it's just Cronus this, Cronus that, you know, movement glitch this, movement meta this, fucking meta weapon loadout this, fucking like, you know, it's just, there's no diversity anymore. There's no creativity anymore. And, you know, I guess inevitably this is what you get when Fortnite takes over the gaming industry, which is something I haven't talked about pretty much all video. Like, Call of Duty saw an opportunity to make billions of more dollars than they were making, and they took it. But the trade-off for that is over the last 7 years, they've lost all their respect. They've lost hundreds of millions of dollars, especially with the release of Black Ops 7. They lost, I think, $300 million with they lost $300 million when they took, I think, I don't know if it was Black Ops 6 or 7, but they took it off Game Pass, and they lost a fuck ton of money because of that. But, you know, Activision is laying off employees left and right, using AI everywhere, and I guess I just wonder, like, why even title the game Call of Duty? Just make a new franchise and do all this shit. You know, see where it goes. Like, Activision wouldn't be making the money they're making on these games if the title wasn't Call of Duty. But it's just really sad and disappointing to see that the games that were made in the golden age that really still stand alone as the only playable and enjoyable experiences to this day, their legacy was just killed because of the greed of Activision. And they don't want us to be able to have fun. They want us to have to pay to win every year, even when it comes to Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. They won't fix the servers and old hardware because they don't want to. They don't want us to enjoy ourselves. They want us to buy the new COD on the new console and deal with skill-based matchmaking and deal with microtransactions and battle passes. And it's like, I mean, listen, Fortnite's battle pass system was cool when it first came out because it was a different style of game. It was like, you know, cartoony and animated, but also kind of gritty, and it had this like simulation Ready Player One kind of aesthetic to it. There was no blood. It was just like you get sent back to the lobby if you die and you try again. And you know, Season 2's Battle Pass was cool. You had Black Knight, you had Floss, you had like Sparkle Specialist, and it was kind of like the first time that I guess a console game really had this sort of like immersive universe with characters, and you know, the Battle Pass tiers have something to do with the story of the game and the season. But I mean, it's kind of just like if the shoe fits in this situation, and it just like never fit for Call of Duty. I'm not saying Warzone was a bad addition to this game. I think Warzone is cool in certain aspects, but the fact that we like haven't gotten a new Warzone map and I don't know how long. I mean, I don't even know if that's true, but it's like Black Ops 6 for most of the year for Black Ops 6's like lifespan. I'm pretty sure for all of the year was just Verdansk. I don't think there was a different map besides Verdansk, and Verdansk has been out since 2019. And the fact that they don't change the voice lines, you can still hear Captain Price's voice every time you get in the chopper when the game starts. It's like, it's not even Black Ops, dude. It's just not even Black Ops. And it's just laughable at this point. Like, this game has just gone so far. Like, it's like that one friend from middle school that you meet 20 years later on the street because he's homeless and he's a fucking heroin addict, and you recognize him by his, like, I don't know, one defining facial feature that you always remembered about the guy. This isn't like a true story or anything that happened to me. I'm just like making up some bullshit here. But it's like Call of Duty is like that one toxic ex and that one like homeless friend that you used to have that now just like fucking smokes crack all the time on the streets of California. It's like that, bro. You know, like, I guess everything has its peak and all good things must end, but I mean, it should have never gone like this. It should have never gone this far downhill. Words just can't describe the disappointment in the greed, man. I don't know why the gaming industry has become as greedy as it has. I know that a lot of executives and investors know the power of their dollar when it comes to investing in these companies, and I wish these companies had better morals. I wish people had better morals. I wish that we lived in a world where people are actually trying to help each other instead of a world that we live in now, which is the version of the world where companies like Call of Duty just say fuck you to our face every year and just get away with it because they blind us with nostalgia. And I'm slowly, like, you know, realizing all of the lies. Even today, like, there have been moments where I've sat there and said, well, like, Black Ops 1 and 2 coming to PS4 and PS5, like, is it really that bad? And I try to lie to myself just simply because of the nostalgia factor of how important those games were to me. But at the end of the day, like, the proof's in the pudding. This company is just full of shit. And I genuinely wonder if anyone will ever, like, draw the line in the sand with this bullshit. I kind of hope, like, I just really hope GTA 6 blows everything else out the fucking water. I hope GTA 6 proves to Activision what is required to make a good game these days, because these fuckers have just lost the plot. And it honestly, like, gives me a headache even talking about this anymore. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say for this video. Let me know if there's anything else you think I should have mentioned, but, you know, Call of Duty had just copied Fortnite, and they've been paying the price ever since. And so is Fortnite. Fortnite is basically Roblox 2.0 at this point. And I get it, like, the last thing I'll say is I get that, like, diversifying your game and adding these different modes for different groups of people and, like, the microtransactions for those retards who, like, can't help themselves or think that it's actually important to buy a digital item on a fucking video game. I get there's opportunities to make more money there, but I just wish that these people's moral values were high enough to the point where they wouldn't try to just blatantly scam their loyal customers. But, just like Mr. Krabs does to SpongeBob, Activision continues to take advantage of us. And until next time, guys, fuck Activision. And have a great night. Or day. I'm just recording this at like 1 a.m., so if you're watching this past 12 a.m., have a good night. Peace.